China's economy began the year on a positive note, with some key measures exceeding expectations. However, as the number of COVID cases in the country rises, maintaining the same rate of development in the following months may be problematic. I'm Anjana for you, and let's look into the current economic status of China. According to figures issued by the National Bureau of Statistics on Tuesday, retail sales increased by 6.7% in the first 2 months of 2022 compared to the same period last year. This was far more than the predicted 3% gain in a Reuters survey of economists. During the same time period, industrial production increased by 7.5%, exceeding the forecasted increase of 3.9%. Fixed asset investments such as infrastructure and machinery increased 12.2% year over year. On the policy front, China has increased its infrastructure expenditure dramatically, with many local governments launching large-scale initiatives in areas like electronic transportations and semiconductors. Manufacturing investments increased by 21% in January and February compared to the same period last year, according to figures released earlier this month. This is substantially greater than the 13.5% growth reported in the same period in 2021. This isn't the first time Chinese officials have emphasized the importance of infrastructure spending this year. Chinese Premier Li Keqiang announced earlier this month that the government would increase fiscal and monetary support for the economy this year, including greater infrastructure expenditure and interest rate reduction. According to Larry Hu, chief economist for the Greater China, the government has expanded the wide fiscal deficit this year, signaling growth in infrastructure spending. Experts caution, however, that the obstacles lie ahead, including COVID and the Ukraine conflict. Since the initial breakout in Wuhan in early 2020, China is experiencing its worst COVID outbreak. Julian Evans-Pritchard, senior China economist for Capital Economics, comments that with officials ditching targeted containment measures in favor of wholesale lockdowns, this has the potential to be even more disruptive than the Delta wave last summer, which led to a sharp contraction in economic output. Even the administration admits that additional COVID outbreaks may have an economic impact in the coming months. According to the National Health Commission, China reported 5,154 domestically transmitted cases last Monday, the largest number in 2 years. To stop the virus from spreading, officials have implemented severe measures in a number of cities, putting tens of millions of people on lockdowns in various ways. Except for those deemed vital or involved in supplying Hong Kong, all enterprises have ceased operations or instituted work from home rules. Local officials in the northeastern province of Jilin have prohibited citizens from leaving or traveling, in addition to Shenzhen. The province, which has a population of 24 million people, is home to Changchun, an industrial hub where Toyota and Volkswagen run automobile factories in collaboration with the state-owned FAW Group. Shanghai, the country's largest business center, has also imposed stringent measures after a spike in COVID cases, closing schools and cinemas and restricting travel into the city. COVID-19 is without a doubt the biggest concern this year, said Hu of Macquarie Group. He expects China will grow at a rate of 4% in the current quarter. He forecast a 5% growth rate for the world's second largest economy in 2022, which is lower than the government's aim. Premier Li announced China's economic growth target for 2022 at roughly 5.5%, the lowest official aim in decades. China's growth may be hit even further by the war in Ukraine. The Russian invasion of its neighbor is driving up commodity prices and disrupting the global economy at a time when policymakers are already battling high inflation. The direct impact of European tensions on China is limited, according to Fu of the NBS, because China's trade exposure to Russia and Ukraine is minimal. However, he stated that the impact on global commodity prices is clear, raising the risk of imported inflation in China. Several food and beverage companies in China have recently hiked prices of their products. Morningstar analysts noted in a report on Tuesday that the current increase in commodity cost as a result of the Russia-Ukraine crisis has intensified the margin pressure on packaged food industries. Various food and beverage companies in China have raised prices to offset margin compression since the third quarter of last year. China and Russia have developed tight connections in recent years, and during Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit to Beijing last month, they inked a number of commodity deals. Their alliance, however, has been put to the test by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. After Russia's economy was slammed by sanctions from all around the world, Beijing has been slow to offer assistance. Chinese officials are walking a very tricky line on Ukraine, observers believe, based on their convoluted message. I'm Anjana signing off. Do like and share this video. For further updates, subscribe to Kaumudy Global.